Welcome to 92.1 K-Fan Duluth. I'm your host, Josh Williams, and this week our Duluth University Norse play against the Wisconsin Badgers, and as you can see by the matchup, it's not looking pretty, except for we have the number one pass offense in the nation after week one, where had to pass pretty much the whole time to catch up. Anyway, you can see some practice gameplay in the background, and here's the question of the week from Michael Skeen. His question is, with how well the Norse played against a Big Ten team, do you expect a winning conference record? Or winning record in conference? Great question, Michael. And my answer to that would be yes, that should be the expectation. If the team consistently play at that level that they did last Saturday. I believe that game may have just been a huge adrenaline rush, being that it was the team's first game in D1 and their first game ever against a D1 opponent. And it was a rivalry game, albeit a one-sided rivalry game that Minnesota wins 100% of the time. God, you gotta love small sample sizes. And the rivalry that only the Norse recognize at that point. Just wait a few years until the Norse get really good and join the Big Ten. Anyway, that being said, Coach Grant also said that he gave the team leaders, that being Cruz, Holloway, and Rich Davenport, free reign over their part of the team to try to secure a surprise victory over Minnesota, which, as you saw last week, almost worked out. But Coach Grant stated that the only reason why he allowed the free reign was due to the lack of recognition of his schemes and the fact that his playbooks haven't been fully implemented yet. And as you can see in the gameplay footage, if you're watching online, that they're really practicing now the loaded pistol or the full house pistol this week. But this week, the Norse are going to go completely to his schemes, which are still limited, but there will be no free reign over the leaders unless the game seems really close at the end and we need to push forward for that victory. Now, that being said, about the team leaders not getting any free reign, we're going down to 2. Last week there were 3 because there were Cruz and Holloway fighting for that starting position, but Coach Grant has made his starting job known, or he announced the winner, and it was pretty obvious. You can see it in the footage. It's Spike Cruz. We scored touchdowns with Spike Cruz on offense. Actually, I don't even think we scored any points with Holloway against the Minnesota defense. So that just kind of shows you how much better Cruz has been able to do, how much more he's been able to do for us, even though on paper he's probably the worst quarterback. Now that being said, if the Norse can play at the level that they did on Saturday, yes, they can definitely be a contender for the MAC conference and have a winning record. But Minnesota and the MAC are two completely different beasts. Minnesota has a lot of power traditionally, and it's a lot of pro style and pistol, while the MAC, and definitely Western Michigan, because that's the top team right now, is a lot of aired out type of offense. Like, Western Michigan has Corey Davis, arguably the best wide receiver in the nation, or best pro potential wide receiver in the nation. And Minnesota is known for their running style, as you saw. Mitch Leitner ran all over us, and so did Shannon Brooks when Leitner decided to actually hand it off to him instead of keep it. So yes, I do think we can, but it's going to be difficult. Anyway, recruiting news. Mike Shippen has been able to schedule his visit for Week 12 against Eastern Michigan. That is one for the future, but now it is time for the Duluth Norse to take a 5-hour trip down to Madison for this game against the Wisconsin Badgers. Let's go. Here we go, game time here in Madison. As here you can see the offensive ranks for both Duluth University and Wisconsin. Duluth right now number 1 in pass offense with 427 yards last week against Minnesota. But that's a little skewed because, they had to pass the entire game. So, it kind of explains why their rush Offense is 97, but we'll see what they can do this week against the Badgers of Wisconsin. A way better team than Minnesota. It's going to be much more difficult to go up against, especially the likes of Corey Clement, Dare Ogunbowale on offense, and on defense. This Badgers team is just insane. Vince Beagle, TJ Edwards, TJ Watt, the brother of JJ Watt, is on this team. And those are just their linebackers. This team is insane. While Duluth, you know who we got. We got Nazario Waxweiler. Let's see what he can do against this linebacking core of Wisconsin. Anyway, the coin toss. Duluth will choose heads and its tails, as Wisconsin will choose to kick, and Duluth will go with the wind. And here's the opening kickoff. Gaglianone to kick it off to Childs. Childs will take it from 4 yards deep and will take it out. He makes a man. Oh, nope. He tried to juke, but Reggie Love does get to him. So now the Norse offense takes the field as Spike Cruz, the newly named starter, is out there in the pistol formation. Surprise, surprise, as he fakes it to Waxweiler, and he's off, and he slides for a 7-yard gain. Good play there, smart play to avoid injury by Spike Cruz, who had a great game last time, almost 300 yards, and he only played 2 quarters. Here we go now as he hands it off to Waxweiler this time, who runs up the middle, breaks a tackle, and gets tackled by a group of Badgers after a 7-yard gain. 1st and 10, Norse. Here we go, another offset pistol look for the Norse here on 1st and 10, as Waxweiler will fake it to Cruz, or Cruz will fake it to Waxweiler, sorry, and that's another 7-yard gain. Just keep pumping out 7-yard games. Will be good. Anyway, another pistol formation, and as we can really see so far, the Norse seem to be running a lot of clock as Waxweiler gets the ball, and that's about a 5-yard gain. There's a penalty flag though, and that's a holding call on Andy Hunt, the center. Anyway, Coach Grant does not seem too happy about that. And now Cruz in another pistol formation. Hands it off to Waxweiler. Breaks a tackle and gets tackled by a duo of Connor Sheehy and TJ Edwards. Pistol formation now. Cruz will take the snap. It's 3rd and 18. We need a lot of yards. He rolls out to the right and gets hit as he throws. Incomplete pass. We got a punt. Anyway, now the Badgers will take the ball at the 36-yard line, and Bart Houston will hand it off to Corey Clement, who breaks a tackle and gets tackled by Dion Sapp after a 5-yard gain. Here we go now, ace formation. You'll see this a lot from the Badgers this game as they send the tight end in motion, and Houston will step back to pass and get sacked by Rich Davenport. That's what I'm trying. That's what I like to see. We only had 1 sack last game, and we have 1 sack in 2 plays this game. Let's keep it up, boys. Rich Davenport with the sack of Bart Houston. Let's go. It's just a beauty. He didn't even need to get blocked by Corey Clement. He was getting blocked. He sacked him anyway. Another ace formation. No tight ends this time. Bart Houston has a blitz, but it's picked up nicely, and he throws it deep, and George Rushing catches it, and Keon Kidd cannot get there. That's a touchdown for Wisconsin. Oh my, that is not what you want to see. Right after a sack, too. I thought it looked like we were doing so well, but then it just got pulled away. Another kickoff here from Gaglianone to Childs, who's going to take it out. And he's going to try to spin move. Oh, and he fumbled! Oh my god! And who is that? Yeah, Reggie Love Jr. gets it. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Nightmare scenario now as the Badgers have the ball inside the 10-yard line, already up 7. And now Corey Clement takes the ball, and he sheds a tackle, and it's a touchdown. Unbelievable. It's going to be 14-0 already. And We've only had 5 plays on offense. Anyway, Spike Cruz to lead the offense out on the 25-yard line. He's going to fake it to Waxweiler. And he has some room, and he gets tackled after 12 yards. First down North. Good play there by Cruz. Another pistol formation. You can see this a lot. And he fakes it the screen. And he's going to throw deep. And Mason Everett goes up and gets it. And the Badger defenders have a nightmare as Mason Everett scores. Oh my God. Did not see that one coming. 63-yard pass. As Mason Everett just makes the 2 defensive backs look silly as he just catches it normally. And I don't know what the safety did there. But that is a touchdown, Mason Everett. Spike Cruz with the longest touchdown pass of his career. 14-7 now as the Badgers line up in a shotgun formation. They're going to set up a screen, but the Norse read it well, and Pickens gets there. But he gets oh my God, Clement breaks that tackle. And now Holloway tries to get him, but that gets broken. And Tyler Miller finally gets the tackle. Oh my. Wow. Clement is just too good against this defense. Another ace formation now for the Badgers as Clement just gets absolutely pummeled in the backfield by Tyler Miller again. Another ace formation now for the Badgers. They send a man in motion. Bart Houston takes a snap and steps back, and George rushing with a 17-yard reception on that out route. And now a shotgun formation here. As he takes the snap, he steps back to pass. He's going to stay in the pocket and throws it down to Clement, who breaks a tackle, makes some man miss, and Rich Davenport finally gets him inside the 5-yard line. 18-yard reception by Corey Clement. Whew. Now inside the 5 now, first and goal. Clement takes the ball, and Trent Manson gets the stop, -1 yard. Now we're going down to 3rd and goal here. Another goal line play, ace formation for Badgers, as they hand it up to Agumbawale, and he can just walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Dare Agumbawale. Man, this team has some weird names I have to pronounce. Agumbawale, Gaglianone. I mean, come on. Give me a break. And here you can see the breakdown so far. We've only had 7 plays. I mean, we're averaging a point per play. That's not bad. But when the other team has 14 more points than you, that's not looking good. Your Cruz now sets up the screen. He passes out to Waxweiler, and Waxweiler just gets stopped. That's 5 defenders already around him. We only had 2 blockers. That was just not a good play. Here we go now. Cruz steps back to pass. It's going to be a deep pass. And oh my God, it got deflected by Vince Beagle, the middle linebacker patrolling the middle. Here we go now. I formation for the Badgers. 1st and 10, and they hand it off to Clement, who breaks a tackle. He breaks another tackle and stiff arms a man and finally gets tackled. And that's the last play of the first quarter. It's 21-7 right now, and the Badgers are driving. Inside the 25 now is Bart Houston. Is going to take the snap, hand it off to Clement, who hurdles over a fallen defender and gets tackled by Tyler Miller. 2nd and 1 now. I formation for the Badgers. Inside the 5-yard line, this is not looking good as Bart Houston hands off to Clement, who can just walk in. 4-yard touchdown for Corey Clement, 28-7 already. The second quarter just started. God. Anyway, Spike Cruz now back in the pistol formation. We can finally see the offense again. As he steps back to pass, throws it over to Brett Dennis. Brett Dennis gets 10 yards. That's the first down. That's all you really want. 2nd and 8 now for the Norse. As another pistol formation comes out, Cruz steps back to pass, throws it off to Leslie Hines, who tries to make a man miss, but can move 17 yards, and that's moving the sticks. First down, Norse. As you can see the highlight here, just a little stick route for Leslie Hines, and Cruz gets it to him. And then the run after catch was pretty good for Hines. Anyway, ace formation now for the Norse. And you can see they're still trying to waste the clock. This seems to be Grant's scheme, part of Grant's scheme, and Waxweiler gets a 7-yard carry on that play. Now pistol formation, they send Brett Dennis into motion. They fake it to Waxweiler. Cruz pitches it to Dennis, and this is a triple option that's working out beautifully as Brett Dennis gets down to the 16-yard line, 25-yard rush for the receiver. And man, Brett Dennis was amazing last week until he got hurt in the first half. And man, did we miss him, because he can pull out all his stops, and he is a really good player. Ace formation now in pistol ace formation now. Hands off to Waxweiler, and Waxweiler has a little bit of room and can get a 5-yard gain on the play. Man, being down 21, and they're still wasting a lot of time on this possession as Cruz hands it off to Waxweiler, who breaks a few tackles and gets a 4-yard carry. That will force a 4th down, but the offense will stay on the field as they're in the loaded pistol formation. Cruz hands off to Brooks, who gets absolutely stopped by Connor Sheehy. Wisconsin has the ball now. Hands it off, or he fakes it to Clement, and Bart Houston is loose, and he's finally tackled by Zachary Cade, my bad, after a huge gain. Bart Houston now fakes it again, and he's loose again. Oh my god, Zachary Cade finally forced him out of bounds. My oh my, this is not looking good. Here we go now, ace formation for the Badgers. 2nd and 10, and they lob it over to the right to George Rushing, who breaks a tackle and gets tackled by Brian Bailey and Keon Kidd. God, Kidd and Cade have two similar names. I get them so confused. Anyway, Bart Houston in the shotgun, they set up a screen, and nobody's there to read it as Corey Clement can get only a 3-yard gain, surprisingly. Keon Kidd really breaks through that line of Badgers linemen. Anyway, field goal now for Gaglianone, and it is wide. Oh my god, that is not a good kick, as he just left it out there. It wasn't even close. Wide left. Here we go now. 1st and 10 for the Norse, with only just over a minute left in the half, and he has a quick pass to Brett Dennis, who gets a 11-yard gain. 1st and 10 now for the Norse. 2nd and 10 now for the Norse as they line up in a pistol look, obviously. Waxweiler gets tackled in the backfield now. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Norse. Only 30 seconds left. Cruz steps back to pass, and he gets sacked. Oh no, that is a terrible time to get sacked, as now Wisconsin uses a timeout to save some time so they can hopefully score again before half. Here we go, Cameron Tillman out to punt, and he boots it deep to Dare Gumbawale, who takes it and breaks another tackle, and gets tackled by 2 people at the 27-yard line? That's just a guess. Nope, 34-yard line. Wow, I was off. Here we go, shotgun look for the Badgers as Bart Houston fakes the pump fakes and throws it down the middle to Troy Fumbagale. Another tough name to say, pretty fast. And that's the 1st down for the Badgers. Another shotgun look now as they send Fumbagale out in motion. It's another screen pass, and that is read perfectly by Rich Davenport. -3 yards there for Corey Clement. Here we go, Bart Houston back to pass, and he launches it deep, and George Rushing catches it. Oh my god, Colton Arnold made the last possible tackle at the 1-yard line that saved it from being 35-7 at half. Whew, what an end to that half of football. Man, I thought it was going to be way worse, or it looked like it could have been way worse. And here is the halftime report for this game. Really to report on, Wisconsin's dominating. George Rushing, Corey Clement, both with touchdowns. Reggie Love got a fumble recovery that really turned the game immediately over to Wisconsin's favor. But that touchdown by Mason Everett, that throw by Spike Cruz, absolutely beautiful. It was a fake screen wheel route, and it was just amazing how they made the defenders miss. But besides that, It's been all Badgers here, as they have more passing yards than we have total yards. Although we do have a lot of time of possession, but we're just wasting clock. I think that's part of the scheme that Bud Grant's trying to push into these kids, and that's what we need to do. Is we're going to allow points, but if our defense isn't on the field that much, they can't allow that many points. I think that's kind of the way he's thinking here. But let's see if it'll work out in the second half. As it's going to be, I believe, Wisconsin ball at half, yes. And here we go. Ace formation. Houston hands it off to Clement, and he has a lane, and he gets finally tackled by Brian Bailey. Wow. He gets lanes. This offensive line by the Badgers is deadly. All of them are going to be drafted someday. Anyway, shotgun look for the Badgers now. Houston's going to run an option, but Deion Sapp is very savvy there as he cuts the lane for the pitch and tackles Houston from behind. Another shotgun look. They're going to run another option, but Sapp is just looking weird all over the place, and O.J. Holiday gets it after a 5-yard gain. O.J. Simpson, you've got to be kidding me. Houston now hands it off to Clement, and he absolutely destroys Rich Davenport and gets tackled by Javon Leslie after a 9-yard gain. Man, Rich Davenport's our best player, and he just looks silly on that play. Houston now hands it off to Clement, and Clement gets tackled after a 1-yard loss by O.J. Holiday, not O.J. Simpson. Anyway, ace formation now. Houston hands off to Ogunbowale, and Ogunbowale will break a tackle, breaks another tackle, and finally gets tackled by Reggie Roberson. And Stephon Elbert's actually shaken up on the play. Hopefully he can get back in time, as we will need the left end to hopefully rush the passer. 3rd and goal now for the Badgers as they hand it off to Clement, and he gets tackled by Rich Davenport at the goal line. It's not a touchdown. Inside the 1, they hold him to a field goal. What a play by Rich Davenport. Last possible second to make the tackle, and he makes it. 31-7 now. Cruz steps back to pass. He's looking to throw, and Brett Dennis is open. He makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. It gets down to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 Norse. 2nd and 10 now. As they lined up another pistol formation, handed off to Waxweiler. And he tries to find the edge, but it just can't happen against Vince Beagle. And that's another tackle for the middle linebacker of the Badgers. Cruz now another pistol formation, drops back to pass. He throws it over to Mason Everett, and it's almost picked off by Natrell Jamerson. Whew, thank God that was not picked. But we do have to punt it as an ace form or I form now as Corey Clement gets the ball, and he gets tackled after a 2-yard loss. Great play there. Hopefully we can keep it up. 2nd and 12 now. Another I formation for the Badgers. Houston hands it off to Clement, and Clement again minus 2 yards. Great play there. Reggie Roberson with the tackle that time. I formation now on 3rd and 14. Houston steps back to pass, stays in the pocket, has all time to throw, and George Rushing drops it. And now the Norse can get really good field position here at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 10. Cruz steps back to pass. And he gets sacked. You've got to be kidding me. That is not what our team needed at this point. 3rd and 20 now for the Norse. As they line up in a pistol formation, Cruz gets the snap. It's going to be a deep pass. He steps up pass and throws it up to Leslie Hines, who drops the ball. That would have been a 1st down easily. Cruz 6 for 16, and most of that's not his fault. Badgers now with the ball. Corey Clement gets to the edge, does some weird cutting, and gets tackled by Javon Leslie. 3rd and 1 now for the Badgers. Motion man for Fumagalli. Bart Houston takes the snap, has all time to pass, goes out to the right, and finds Troy Fumagalli down the middle of the field. That's a 1st down for Wisconsin on the 17-yard reception by Troy Fumagale. 1st and 10 now, I formation. Corey Clement takes the handoff, and he's off. Oh, thank God we got there, but only after a 15-yard gain. 1st and 10 now, I formation again as Corey Clement takes the handoff. He makes a cut inside, gets the block. O.J. Holiday misses the tackle, and Corey Clement runs into the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Gaglianone now to kick it off, and now Childs will field it at the 1-yard line. He'll take it up. He gets the edge, and he says to the 40, 45. He drags the man past the 50 and is down at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Norse. Cruz takes the snap. He throws a quick pass to Mason Everett, who drops it. You just can't do that. Hands off now to Waxweiler, who gets the edge. He's dragging a man again. It's Neutral Jamerson, who Waxweiler can absolutely carry for a 15-yard gain. 1st and 10 now. This is going to be the last play of the quarter, it seems like. As they hand it off to Waxweiler, he does not get the edge and just runs into Leo Musso for the 7-yard gain. That will end the third quarter. And so far through 3, it has been all Wisconsin, besides for the one play that the Duluth Norse had with the Mason Everett touchdown. Wisconsin's absolutely dominated, 38-7. 2nd and 3 now for the Norse. Cruz steps back to pass, throws out to the Tremaine Miles, who gets shoved out of bounds after a 9-yard reception. Tremaine Miles did have that 60-yard reception last week. Not as much production this week, though. Pistol formation as Cruz swaps the play and hands it off. And wow, Waxweiler just got stuffed. He broke a tackle, but he got stuffed. Only 2-yard gain. 3rd and 7 now for the Norse. Pistol formation, obviously. They're going to set up the screen. They dump it off to Waxweiler. Waxweiler's going out to the outside. He does meet the man, but only 2 yards short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 2, and the Norse are going for it. This is what Bud Grant's trying to do. He wants to pound in his system and be aggressive when he can. And Cruz will fake it, and he breaks a tackle. Oh, and he gets tackled at the 1. He absolutely shedded that tackle, and I thought he was going to score. Here we go now. Cruz is going to flip the play again, it seems, and he's going to toss it out to Waxweiler, who has an edge, and he breaks through Kanashiki's tackle, and touchdown Waxweiler. There we go. His first of the season, and it's only a 1-yard touchdown, but we expect many more from that man. The Badgers will take over now. Just under 6 minutes left as Corey Clement gets the ball, breaks a tackle, and Rich Davenport finally gets to him. 3rd and 4 now for Wisconsin. They line up in an I formation. They hand it off to the fullback, and Alec Ingold gets an 11-yard rush there. Reggie Robertson with the tackle. 1st and 10 now for Wisconsin. Ace formation. They hand it off to Clement. Clement has a hole in the middle, and Keon Kidd gets to him. But is there a face mask there? Yes, there is. God. He makes a tackle. Keon Kidd does, and it's a penalty. That's not great, obviously. 2nd and 10 now for Wisconsin after that huge boost there at the 33-yard line. Bart Houston's going to set up the screen now. He dumps it off to Clement. And Clement is off, and he breaks a tackle and gets shoved out of bounds. Man, that could have been a lot worse. Rich Davenport, thank God he was there to shove him out of bounds. 2nd and 10 now. And Bart Houston's going to shed a tackle. And he's just going to score, isn't he? Wow, touchdown. Wisconsin. But in other news, Bowling Green and Kent State. Bowling Green is taking the lead with at the beginning of the third quarter. And Kent State is down by 3 now in the MAC opener. And here's a glance at the offensive statistics so far for both teams. We have less plays than they have points. It's not a great ratio, let's just say that. As Bud Grant's going to send out the backups as Davida Holloway. is scrambling out to the left, which is totally going against the flow of the play, and he has to throw it away before he gets sacked. 3rd and 9 now. It's very interesting that they're sending out the backups with 4 minutes left, but it is a 31-point game. As Glenn Brooks takes the screen, breaks a tackle, and gets tackled by Vince Beagle. Yeah, Vince Beagle. And that's basically going to be the end of the game, as we have to give it to Wisconsin. But Corey Clements, player of the game, no surprise there. He ran all over us. And the Norse look like they did not look like the same team that played the Minnesota Golden Gophers last week, as they get absolutely dismantled by the Wisconsin Badgers. 45-14. Man, that is not what you want to see. And here are some stats on the game. Spike Cruz was 8 for 19, but a lot of those were drops. And Tavita Holloway was 1 for 3. Spike Cruz had 131 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and a 42% completion percentage. 16.7 yard average. Is that per completion or per okay, it is per completion. The long of 63 to Mason Everett and was sacked twice. Waxweiler was 15 rushes, had 46 yards. Spike Cruz had 13 yards on 6 rushes. Glenn had 5 yards on 2, and Brett Dennis had 25 and 1. Waxweiler had a touchdown as well, long of 15 and 24 yards after contact. Receiving now, Brett Dennis at 39 yards on 3 receptions. He was the big man, but Mason Everett had that touchdown with 63 yards, only reception of the day. And a drop for everyone but Glenn Brooks and Brett Dennis. That's just terrible receiving right there. Blocking. Leslie Hines gets a pancake, but Andy Hunt and is that Sam Burton? Stanley Burton, my bad. Give up sacks. Tackles now. Rich Davenport solidifying his standing among the top tacklers in the nation. Got 8 tackles today. Keon Kidd had 7, with 6 of them being solo. Trent Manson has 5, and same with Reggie Robertson. Miller and Bailey had 4 each. 2 tackles for loss for Davenport and Robertson, and a sack for Davenport as well. Some team stats now. They had 17 first downs. We only had 10. They had 503 offensive yards. We had 221. Rushing yards, on 24 attempts, we had 89 yards and 1 touchdown. On 37 attempts, they had 275 yards and 5 touchdowns. And yeah, we were 9 for 22 passing. They were 11 for 20. They had twice as many yards, and it was not pretty. 1 for 9 on 3rd down, 1 and 2 for 4th down, and 1 for 2 in that red zone. Not a great day. Although we do have 220 kick return yards because they kicked it off 12 times. Looking ahead to next week, we have a bye week next week, but the week after that we play Cincinnati, the Bearcats, who definitely outmatch us on paper. But interesting fact, they, like us, have also played back-to-back Big Ten teams with better success than us, losing 29-21 or winning 29-21 to Purdue and losing 37-34 to Illinois, the Illini. Anyway, guys, remember to leave comments and questions about this week and what you want to see next week, and I will see you guys then with hopefully some recruiting updates next week. That being said, guys, see ya.